So these are the new blades right here. I just replaced them while they're in the machine. I didn't take off my guards. My guards are in pretty good shape. So I tap out the old, which you'll see me do here in a minute. These are my first two because they're in the right position. I put my regular screwdriver underneath right here to hold the nut. And I get my drill. This is a Sadie, move. Sadie, get. Yeah, this is a lot more hazardous with a pup than it usually is, but she's got to learn. So put that on there. Now what I do is I put my drill on screw mode, and I give it and twist the screw mode until I get enough push to pull that through. I may have to go to drill mode, but let's see what happens here. I'll go to 19. Let's go to 1. That's more torque, I think. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So we'll go back to 10 in drill mode, see if drill mode will do it. Drill mode does do it, so we're going to dial it back to 5. And that's not what you want to do. You do not want to strip these things out. Usually I set my drill to just faster. I may have to make an adjustment, but I set my drill to where it basically installs these and shuts off before it breaks them, because these are made to shear. So you say, well, how far do I go? Well, you'll see the head under here. If I can get that. You'll see that head right there. And when you can't get a fingernail underneath it, like right there, I stuck that on. Now these are lock nuts, so you can't get a fingernail underneath that now. And you just like that, and that's it. You go any more and you're going to break them. So the drill is not working as well. I think I got the wrong drill for one. Now I can, it's a 7/16. So ideally would be to go get my 7/16, and I got another little ratchet out here, but just for it's just quicker. The reason so once these bolts, I'll show you one of the bolts here in a second. So they go in pretty good. You just got to be very mindful of the amount of tension, like right there, and then a little bit more, not much. So let's see if I can show you. These are basically the bolts. They have little grooves in the right here. Those go up and get tight. You need to, they say to hammer them up, but what I do is I put them in there and I let the screw draw it up. So when the screw dries it up, and then this here's, like I said, flush with the bottom, then you know you've gone just about as far as you want. So typically what I try to do with this, and you want to adjust these things when they're in the slot. So here's my guard, and my tooth is right there, and the gap in the tooth is in the guard. So, and that's how you want to adjust them. You don't want to adjust them when the tooth is outside the guard. Let's make sure you can clear it, and of course before you turn it on slowly. So I can already tell you that I'm going to go get the bit for my ratchet and get it on there close, and then I can go the rest of the way with this to feel it. Now my screwdriver came off, and we'll put it okay. No, get out. Whoops. Sorry, didn't mean to bump you. No, Sadie. So that's basically what you do. I do about 2 or 3 here at a time. I'm gonna have to take the guard off on the next one to get to the bolts, the nuts. And I do them while they're on the machine. I do not have a lot of luck pulling my sickle out and getting it back in without some problems. I think the bottom of my swather may be warped, and so I've always done it this way. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's easier. So what I need to do, I need to go get my air compressor and bring it over here, clean all the dirt off these, because these will not go back in. I don't know where that one went to, but it's probably in the, nope. Well, so this comes off. I'm going to reuse him again. Nope, there's the nut. Bolts come down. Pull the guard out. There should be a, there is, there's a pressure, push plate I call it, or a spacer plate. And there's a washer on one side, and there's not a washer on the other. So I do look at these, and if they're very thin, they do get replaced. So clean that off. Like I said, I'm going to get my blower, blow this off from the dirt from the year before. Scrape your scrape your plates off, clean them up, put it all back together, which I need to go get some stuff to help me do this because this ain't working out. It's like as fast as what I want it to, so. So here's one here that we're gonna break loose, and actually we can do 2 more. So ideally, what I try to do about 10 a day, and because my neck and stuff kind of gets to you, ow, after some time. Oh. And so this is the next one. If you can see. So pull him out. You don't reuse your nuts or bolts. There are people that do. That's their business. They tell you not to. So we're just going to go ahead and get these out too. There's about 30, I think there's 36 on here. So if you do 10 a day, you're done in about 3-4 days. If you do them 7 days, you do 5 a day, and you can be done in a week. And so you get them out. Now, quite honestly, I change these out. And this is my own, business, how I do it. But typically I change these out. Let me just lay down here, give my neck a break. Typically I change these out every 2 years. That does a good job. You can start telling towards the end of the 2nd year of cutting. Starts kind of chewing it up instead of cutting it nice. Now some of these blades are still pretty good and sharp, but it's just, you know, a package of blades are 14 bucks. I buy 4 of them, so I've got 50 bucks in those. I got under 100 bucks easily in the bolts, the sections, and my guards. So most of the guards I can reuse a few years. But anyway, that's kind of it. This is just my way of doing it, just a little faster and easier than trying to. I have before taken the all the guards off at one time, and then and then completely removed the blade, and then put it back in, and then reset everything. But I just found that I just take my time, do this. It is a hassle, but it's a lot. It's the least of the evils. Let's just say that way. So here we go. I'm gonna put this one on. I'm gonna stick my bolt up through there. Put my nut on it. I don't even know if you guys can even see. Put my nut on it. Put another bolt up through. Usually one bolt kit is enough to do one hole. And as you get towards the wobble box, the bolts have to be a little longer because you have a special guard and stuff down there to help hold them on. Now, I will put this one on. These blades go in pretty slick. They cannot really you cannot really make a mistake putting them in. They line up with the other ones. The holes are so tight, manufactured, that you can't get them real crooked. They will just go in straight. I'm gonna have to go get my other little drill though, because it is a lot nicer to just put these in, let the drill set them, and then break, and then you don't even have to worry about doing this part. You just do it real quick. I'd have these done, but I'm under here. I'm gonna do about, well, I will have done 5 once I finish this one and put the stuff back on it. Now, I use the 1/4 inch because I tend to be a little hard on tightening stuff up. So 1/4 inch allows me to get these in without busting them up. These are lock nuts. Okay, so put another blade on. Now these pack of blades, somebody else has started making them, where I used to get them at TSC, which is this farm store here. I think they're probably all over. Everybody knows about them anyway. Used to get them at Orscheln's, but they used to make them, had an A negative on them. Now these here, I had a hard time getting. I noticed they've quit putting the A negative on them now, so that's kind of a little weird. Anyway, so I will, it's time consuming. Like I said, if I had my drill out here, this would not be as bad. Back this up a little bit, because it would set them. And the way it's going, I'll probably just put this one on, and I'll call it good tonight. That'll be 5 of them, and then the next night I'll do probably 10 once I get everything out here. That, the bummer of this is, as you get older, you kind of forget the tools you got to have out here to do this, but we'll get them all squared away and it'll go a lot quicker. And then you run it, and I squirt it down with oil to kind of break in it, seat it in. It's not a lot of seating because, like I said, I'm not removing it. It's the, spray it down with WD-40. Okay, so that's done. Now, I'm gonna put my plate in, and that goes up against the back of the bar. Some people change out these big bolts. I do not. You can, but if they're in good shape, I use them. They do have lock nuts on them, to which I will probably Nope, Sadie, can't have you in here. So you put the nuts on like so. I will go get different lock nuts, but for now I'm going to just stick these on. And now I make sure that the gap on this here piece here, it's not riding too tight. I try to bring them down right on it, and then it rests, and then we're good. So here's the old blade. And these things are viciously sharp. However, you do that, if you do that with a new one, you cut yourself. So you can definitely tell the dullness, and there's some breakage. So I can get that clear. I don't think it's going to get any clearer than that. So yeah, compared to a brand new one, those would be what I call worn. So anyway, I'll get some tools here together, and we're going to probably tackle more of this tomorrow. And I got some stuff I got to do outside. And anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye.